Gupta, Shivoham, Sudeep, Bhargava, Girish, Rajan, Girish again, Girish Amma, I think, Bisham, Rais, Roop, Shivoham, Yoga Narsiman, Siva, Veena, Harshal, Karthik, Ashok Chotwani, Ashok Nichani, Kumar Swami, Dattatray. Welcome to the call. And I think the rest of you are joining and many of you are not visible. With that note, I think sometimes it takes a little time for everybody to come online. And we also take 2-3 minutes to get started. So today, I am not sure, but did we touch this point yesterday, Sanjay Das? Did we touch this point yesterday, whether karma is transferable? Did we touch this point yesterday? So we had a spiritual retreat from 9:45 till 2:30. We had a 4-5 hours spiritual retreat today in Bangalore. And so many of us discussed some points, but for those who are not present, those who are present, we touched this point. Is karma transferable? Which means, can you suffer the karma of your mother, your father? Can your parents suffer your karma? Can you suffer for your brother? Can your guru suffer your karma? So does anybody have an idea of this? Anybody would like to try? Rajan, you want to try? Shiva?
No, karma is transferable. It's not transferable from one person to another, but from one janma to next.
Okay. Rajan says it's not transferable from one person to another person, but it is transferable from one janma to another janma. Good, very good answer. Thank you, Rajan. But is it transferable from one person to another person?
No.
Could I answer, Sirji?
Aji, Ashok Nichani, bolo.
It's you cannot transfer, Sirji, from one person to another. But
No,
a Guruji can take.
How Guruji can take?
Guruji has got the power, divine power, to take someone's devotees.
No, this is wrong. This is completely wrong. You know, and this is where sometimes I laugh. In Christianity, they say, the Lord, the Savior will suffer for your sins. Tum sin karo, they pay 10% and God will suffer for your sins. Mujhe to bahut hansi aati. I feel like laughing in this particular point where God, you sin, God will suffer. How is it possible? Why should God suffer? What is the question? Where is the question of God suffering? So we should not, we should be very careful that we do not believe. No, but see, sometimes we feel I am doing bad karma, my parents are suffering. No, not possible. So this karma is about you and you alone. You come alone, you go alone. Therefore, the karma is not transferable. Unfortunately, a lot of people, see, the biggest problem is we have to unlearn many things which people teach us, which are lies. Too many lies are there. So with that note, if anybody wants to ask about karma, you may ask. We have been finding so many new things in these sessions that we have. Those who were present for the session today may make any comment or make a question on the session because we didn't get a chance after closing. But Administrator, do we have questions for today?
Yes.
So the first question, yes, Shivoham, who's asking this? Girish.
Girish.
Yes,
Karma belongs to illusory I associated with the ahankara.
Correct.
That will continue as long as I associate ahankara to I. When I reach a stage of pure I, devoid of ahankara, karma will drop. So it is associated with my individual avidya.
Okay.
So it is not transferable. But a guru can give correct guidance to a disciple and help him to remove avidya. That's why,
Yeah.
that's how he makes karma
No.
dissolve.
No, that Guru can do. Guru can help you overcome avidya. But Guru, see what happened. Let me explain where this
Yes.
comes from, Girish. Many
He
commercial
cannot take
gurus,
over for him to experience.
many commercial gurus tell like what? Many commercial gurus, you understand? No, I will take over your karma. You don't worry, I will take over your karma. I will suffer for you. Can that possible? Is it possible?
No.
That is not possible.
Not possible. But the correct Brahma Vidya he can give and make the disciple to claim himself as I am Brahmasmi.
Absolutely.
Then the play of karma is over.
Absolutely agreed. 100% agreed. Absolutely correct. No doubt. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Next question. Nishu Mathur. There's a question from Nishu Mathur. And the question is, if a poor man feeds a dog or shares his food with another person, is his karma the same as a rich man's karma if he feeds a dog? For a poor person, it's a greater sacrifice to share something when we have so little. Very good observation. Obviously, that if a poor man shares his meal, it's a much bigger karma. If a rich man shares his meal, it's not such a big karma. I love the story I heard when I was a child. Let me share an interesting story. In America, there was a courtroom. And in the courtroom, a judge was giving verdict where a doctor came and he was, his crime was he shot dead 2 people. The doctor took a gun and shot dead 2 people. The judge told him he must be put for execution. At that time, he has to be hung. Because he's a doctor, how can he shoot dead 2 people? Next case was a villager. A villager in some gaon, some people came to attack his farm. If he took his knives and he tried to run, he tried to chase them away, and he killed 2 people. The judge gave 20 years imprisonment. So then the public asked the judge, previous case, 2 people dead, you gave execution. Next case, 2 people dead, you only gave 20 years imprisonment. Why the partiality? The judge said, in the first case, the doctor is very intelligent doctor. He's MBBS, MDS, whatever. Very, very highly educated. This the qualification of the villager is not even high school pass. He's an uneducated man. He killed 2 people in protecting his farm. The doctor shot 2 dead because he just got angry at those 2 people. So what happens is, I'm just remembering the story where a rich man doing karma and a poor man doing karma. It depends upon your state. If you're a very rich man, then obviously you're expected to give more. If you're a poor man, if you give little also, it's a very good karma. But Nishu, on the Ask AiR call, we are not here to learn to do good karma. We are here to learn to transcend karma. So I will not advise you to do good karma. My advice is always for you to go beyond karma, is to transcend the karma. The goal is to be liberated from karma. That is the goal. We have to reach that state of being a karma yogi. That is very, very important. Okay, today we also, in the session, for those of you who are not present for the session today, they asked a very interesting question. Savita Gupta, how many karmas are there? What types of karma are there? Savita? What type of karma is there? Karma is?
Your good karma and the wrong deeds which make you collect a wrong karma, bad karma.
Correct. But today in the session, they came out with one more karma. In the session, they came out with there is good karma and there is bad karma and there is neutral karma. Neutral karma means, for example, Samita, you're cooking your food and eating. Is it good karma? Is it bad karma? Just you're cooking your food and you're eating. Is it good karma or bad karma? Or neutral karma?
It will be neutral unless I'm in a bad mood and I cook in a bad mood, then I'll put bad vibrations into the food.
No, don't believe all these stories, please, that you put bad vibration in the food. You will complicate your life. Okay. But let me tell you one thing, that if you're cooking your food and your mother is hungry in your house and you're eating alone, that is bad karma. And if you're cooking your food and your servant is hungry and you're giving her food to eat in your house, then that is good karma. But if you are cooking your food, whatever vibration, don't worry about that. You cook your food, you eat your food, it is neutral karma. So most of the karma in our life is neutral karma. Today in the session, they taught me this. They came across and somebody taught me this, that there is good karma, bad karma, and neutral karma. So neutral karma is there many karmas where we don't have to necessarily be given a reward or be given a punishment. Just neutral karma. Many karmas are like that. Next question.
Asha.
So Jyotri is asking a question. Okay, but if God doesn't interfere, why pray? So Asha is asking the question, if God doesn't interfere, why should we pray? Many people think, no, why should we pray? Prayer ka meaning kya hai? What are the benefit of prayer? No, prayer is very important because prayer is communication with God. Prayer is not only asking God for something. Prayer is not only begging to solve your problems. Prayer is not only sharing with God your miseries and difficulties. Prayer is the ability to communicate with God inside. Prayer is a matter of yoga, being a yogi, realizing that you are not the body, God is inside. So Asha, God does not interfere in karma and the unfolding of karma. God normally does not interfere. But prayer is capable of creating miracles. Prayer is magical. Prayer is transformative. Prayer has therapeutic value. So we should pray. Don't ask the question, why pray? Even if you don't understand the meaning of prayer, please pray. Of course, when you understand the meaning of prayer and you pray, the reward is much more, right? But we should never stop praying. Jyotri? Long question, is it?
Yeah.
Jyotri's very long question. Yesterday you said that take a gun and shoot your mind. I tried, but I don't found both the gun and the mind. I think my mind is there where I'm using my brain to think. Suppose I'm concentrating this call, then my mind is on the call. If my mind is thinking and concentrating about Iceland, my mind is in Iceland. This way I can find my mind. But what would be the gun to kill my mind? Will it be silence? So Jyotri, yes, the first gun to kill the mind is silence. You tame the monkey into a monk. The mind is a monkey, M-O-N-K-E-Y. You cut the E-Y. E-Y means how do you shoot the monkey? Cut the tail. Now don't again ask me where is the scissor. You don't need to have the scissor to cut the tail, Jyotri. These are just analogies, correct? Cutting the scissor means dropping the EY. EY is ever yelling, ever yearning. The mind is ever yelling, ever yearning, ever yelling, ever yearning. Cut it. Make the monkey into a monk. So how do you kill the mind? You kill the mind, one is by silence, and two is by activating the intellect. The intellect is that aspect of our life that discriminates the thoughts of the mind. When the mind is shooting bullets, not AK-47 is a gun, it shoots. What is the mind shooting? It's shooting thoughts. Every second is shooting a thought. Padak, padak, padak. So you put the intellect as a filter. The intellect will stop the thought from becoming a feeling and an action. It will discriminate thoughts. So the methods are: one, silence; two, tame the monkey. No yelling and yearning, ever yelling, ever yearning. Three, activate the intellect. So this is the way, Jyotri, for us to kill the mind. But don't try to find the gun. You will not find the gun to kill the mind. And don't try to find the mind. Where is the mind? You cannot find. You can recognize thoughts. It's just like today in the retreat we realized. We think that sometimes it's a tree. but there are no trees. It's only leaves, thousands and thousands of leaves. If you take out the leaves, there is no tree. Very thin branches will remain, but really there is no tree. The tree is only made up of, I'm talking about some particular trees. It's only leaves. The branch is very thin. So also the mind is full of thoughts. If you remove the thoughts, there is no mind. There was another second question from Jyotri. Describe a state of a person in a coma, how he's living in which state of consciousness. Actually, the person who's in a state of coma, there are different type of people. I'm not a medical expert. Probably Surinder Goyal, is he there in the call? We should ask Surinder Goyal. I don't think he's in the call today. He's an anesthetist. He's a doctor. So he will tell us. This is a very interesting question. Jyotri, I'm keeping it. We'll send it to Surinder Goyal to explain to us. See, when you are normally in a coma, the body is knocked out. Normally. So the senses are knocked out. But the mind sometimes may be dreaming. Now, if the mind also is knocked out, then there's no body, then there's no mind. It's only the breathing. It's only the breathing that goes on, and there's no sensation and there's no feeling. But I am not a medical expert to tell you what is the state of a coma. So I don't speak, I don't give answers on a subject which I don't know. So I would like to wait for this question. We have a person who attends, is Dr. Surinder Goyal. So I'm asking administrators to note and to ask Dr. Surinder Goyal to answer this question. What is the state of a person who is in coma? But this is not a spiritual question. How he is living in which state of consciousness. So I think that the person who is in coma doesn't have consciousness. He is not conscious about himself. He loses consciousness. He's in a state of unconsciousness. So next question, please. Kiran Kathuria. Kiran Kathuria. Kiran, are you there? Kiran? Kiran Kathuria.
Pranam Guruji, Shivoham.
Shivoham, bolo Kiran.
Guruji, I don't want to ask any question. I have asked enough in the morning and I have made you answer so many questions and I am very thankful to you. I show my gratitude to you for answering my questions, for satisfying my curiosity and encouraging to walk further and to achieve the goal you helped us, and by giving so many books and learn tasty lunch, tea and everything. I am grateful to you for all the help you gave us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kiran.
I am grateful to you.
Thank you all for coming.
For everything you did in the morning for us. Especially you have answered my questions in a very nice way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kiran. So I appreciate somebody like Kiran. She's in her, I can tell she has passed the 3/4 of life, and she's now she's in what I call the bonus stage God has given her. But there are some people who are very wise, learned, elderly people whom I respect, and I feel that people like Kiran Kathuria, we were about, I think totally we were nearly 20 people in the room this morning. And we had a very interesting session. We started before 10 o'clock. We ended, I think I closed at 3 o'clock, but by the time I got up from my seat. And we had very interesting question answer sessions. Very, very interesting session. And people asked. So therefore, a spiritual retreat where we spend hours together is something we should encourage. And we should not hesitate to have that. I mean, I personally feel that people can interact. In this session on the Zoom call, we can ask a question, answer, but the discussion is not so easy. Thank you, Kiran, for coming. I can see Prabhakar on the call. Yes, Prabhakar, you have a question?
शिवम गुरुजी,
शिवम प्रभाकर,
लाइफ का जो 4 फेज होता है, तो जो सेकेंड फेज में हमारे जैसे लोग हैं, तो उनको हमेशा योगा में रहने में बहुत दिक्कत होता है, तो इसका कोई उपाय बताते हैं आप?
क्या दिक्कत है योगा में रहने में?
क्योंकि जैसे जो 4th फेज में है, वो मतलब वो रह सकते हैं क्योंकि उन्हें कुछ काम नहीं करना होता है और कुछ उतना वर्कलोड नहीं है, या फिर फर्स्ट फेज में वो पढ़ाई करते हैं तो कर सकते हैं, लेकिन जो सेकेंड फेज वाले रहते हैं उनको बहुत सारा लोड रहता है, तो योगा में कैसे रहेगा?
सेकेंड स्टेज के लोग पुराने जमाने में भी वो गृहस्थ आश्रम में रहते थे। गृहस्थ आश्रम मतलब कमाना, शादी करना, बच्चा पैदा करना। तो द सेकेंड क्वार्टर ऑफ लाइफ इज द मोस्ट चैलेंजिंग क्वार्टर। प्रभाकर, हमें क्या करना है? इन द सेकेंड क्वार्टर वी शुड रियलाइज गॉड. If you look at me, Prabhakar, my realization happened when I was 66. I was 40 plus. I was in my second quarter. My realization of truth happened in second quarter, because I was seeking God. I was seeking happiness. I was seeking purpose. See, most of us in the second quarter, we are trapped in the material world. And because we are trapped in the material world, we don't realize that we are running behind shadows. You can't catch a shadow, right? You can't catch a rainbow. You try to catch a rainbow, you can't catch a rainbow. You want to catch a mirage in the desert, a mirage, you can't catch it. It's an illusion. So we have to be liberated from this illusion. That is our challenge. Prabhakar, तो आप चिंता मत करो, सेकंड क्वार्टर में हो या थर्ड क्वार्टर में, आप प्रभु के be a mumukshutva. Prabhakar, keep on seeking God, keep on seeking liberation, and you will reach that point. You will reach that point.
Thank you.
Shiva,
Thank you so much, Guruji.
Kumar Swami, please. Kumar Swami, your time.
Sir, Shivoham, Kumar Swami here. Sir, for the clearing of our past karmas,
Yeah.
this samadhi is only ultimate, or something else is there? Because this Patanjali said, and even Bhagavad Gita also said in the Ashtanga Yoga, samadhi is only ultimate to clear your past karmas and your in the memory.
Actually, samadhi is not the way we understand it, Kumar Swami. What we need in the modern terminology is, we need enlightenment. You see, samadhi is a state of consciousness. In the enlightenment, you will get the state of consciousness. So, what do you want to achieve in your life?
No, actually, through samadhi we can enlighten, and meantime you can clear your karmas. Both will simultaneously happening with the samadhi. That they are telling that in the scripture.
Kumar Swami, both ways is possible. It is possible to have samadhi and get enlightenment. It is possible to get enlightenment and become in samadhi. You get the point?
Okay. So but finally you are telling that samadhi is must.
No, samadhi will come automatically with enlightenment. Okay, just to make you understand, there are two ways to go up the ladder. Okay. Just like you can go to New York by plane also, and by train also, and by driving also. So my point is, Kumar Swami, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. When you climb the Ashtanga Yoga and you reach the state of samadhi, when you reach the state of samadhi, in that state of samadhi, you should get enlightenment.
Yes.
It is not automatic. It is not automatic to get enlightenment. But the moment you get enlightenment by realization of the truth, you are automatically in samadhi.
Okay. We will reach in the same point.
Same point. So just let me give you one small example. It's very interesting, Kumar Swami. Very, very interesting. I'm giving you day-to-day example. My friends, please capture. Many people tell, if you think a happy thought, then you will act happy. You agree?
Agreed.
So if you think happy thought, you will act happy. But the father of positive thinking, Norman Vincent Peale, he said something else. He said, if you act happy, you will think positive, you will think happy thoughts. Now you're getting the point? Both the ways is possible. If you think happy thought, you can act happy. But the second way is also possible. If you have happy actions, then your thoughts can become happy.
Yes,
both the ways are possible.
Okay. And sir, one more question here regarding this coma person. Just now you were discussing about it.
Yeah.
But actually, coma person see, unconscious we are talking. The person is unconscious we are talking. But he is unconscious of the body level, senses level only. But consciousness is there to give a supply to the person is live because the consciousness is present. The consciousness which is through the senses will be unconscious.
So, Kumar Swami, this is the medical subject. Let me explain to you. We don't. Are you telling me a man who's in coma can all the people in coma know what is happening around them? Many people don't know what is happening. They are knocked out. So this is a medical subject. We need to understand from Surinder Goyal. He's a very advanced anesthetic doctor of anesthesia. So we will wait for his opinion. Because understand, see, let's be clear. The life is there in that person. Kumar Swami, the life is there, the prana is there, the soul is there. But whether the consciousness is there, consciousness means the person should be aware. He should be aware in the state of coma. I don't know whether he will be aware or not. I don't know the answer.
Actually, sir, the interpretation of the Atma is so many areas. Consciousness, somebody is telling, Atma, somebody telling, Jivatma, somebody. So the interpretation is making a confusion of the subject.
Don't be confused. Only what happens is we need to understand some specific cases. Whether you call soul, spirit, Atma, prana, chi, breath, life, it's all the same thing. Be clear, Kumar Swami, it is only one thing. Even the man in coma, he's alive because of what, Kumar Swami?
Atma.
Soul is there or not there?
Yes, there.
That's all. Don't worry whether the man is in consciousness or not. Leave it. Nah, that's not important. We will ask the specialist, we will ask the doctors what is the state. But we know the soul is present. Kumar Swami, if the soul had left the man who was in coma, what would happen? If the soul leaves the person, what will happen?
Dead.
He'll be dead.
The person will be dead.
He will not be in coma.
Yes.
He will not be in coma. So please understand. So please understand this. You know, my Guruji, he was in the hospital from June 2018 to July 2018. First, he was in coma. Then, after coma, they said one by one, they said brain dead, organ failure, multi-organ failure. Ultimately, he died. The body died. So we have to understand that there is a medical aspect to this. So we have to understand it. In the soul aspect, there is no confusion. When the soul comes, there is breath, there is life. When the soul goes, there is death, there is no life. Simple, no confusion.
Yes, sir.
Next question. Jyotri, another question. So Jyotri, I hope I am not muted. So Jyotri is asking us an important question, a long question again. But sir, if a person in coma doesn't have the consciousness, how he's alive, he has the soul, then the person is not doing any karma or actually is suffering from his karma. So I want to know that can we compare a person in coma with a tree who have little consciousness, energy to just breathe and live? The person who's in coma, Jyotri, is not doing any karma. We are sure about that. No doubt. You are even Kumar Swami will agree. Everybody will agree. The person in coma is not doing karma. But the person in coma, if he is suffering, then he is negating his karma. If he is not suffering, then he is not negating karma also. Karma is negated only when we are suffering. If we don't suffer, then we are not negating the karma. So obviously, if his karma is being negated, then the person is suffering. That's your first question. Secondly, good deeds, if poor, are more valuable than of rich. However, the bad deed of the poor is also more valuable than rich or same. I already gave the answer, no? Bad deed. Bad deed, the doctor shot. I gave a bad deed. So it's not only about poor and rich. Karma, it depends upon your level of intelligence, your level of evolution, your age. Suppose a person is a young boy and he does some bad karma. It's no experience, first time he's doing it. And the person who after 30 years is doing the same thing, after 10 times repeating the same karma, obviously the karma will be more negative when you're repeating the bad karma 10th time after 30 years? So we have to, these are not difficult questions. We can ask ourselves and we will get the answer. So I hope, Jyotri, you are satisfied with this. But my dear friends, Jyotri and the rest of you all, ultimately, we can ask all these questions, but we should progress on that path of enlightenment. See, today when we had the session, what was the focus? The focus was this, right? How do we move forward on the path of enlightenment? For that, one, how can I overcome my ignorance? Two, how can I realize the truth? Three, how can I do self-realization? Then in self-realization, the 5 magic words, neti, neti, tat, tvam, asi. That's all. Not this, that thou art. So we spoke about this. Our goal is to move forward on the path of enlightenment. Our goal is to overcome ignorance. Our goal is to realize the truth. This will give us eternal happiness. This will make us happier than the millionaires and the billionaires of the world. This will make us the richest people in the world. Therefore, the important challenge for all of us is to move forward on this path of enlightenment. That should be our ultimate goal. Next question.
Sudeep, last question.
Sudeep Bhargava.
So just to touch upon the topic of this consciousness thing, I had asked this question to you some time back, that we normally say 3 states of consciousness: the waking stage, dreaming stage, and the deep sleep. Then also you told me that it's not actually the states of consciousness, because consciousness is going to remain constant. It's your experience about the consciousness.
Absolutely.
So in this question that Jyotri ji is asking, are we mistaking the awareness and consciousness? Because when a person is unconscious, medically we call it as unconscious, but spiritually he has the consciousness. It's that he doesn't have the awareness. So maybe we are mistaking between the words awareness and what spiritually we call as consciousness. That is
provided you are in that state of Satchitanand, no? Suppose you have not activated your consciousness, then who is the one who experiences the 3 states of consciousness? Does everybody in the world experience the 3 states? They observe the 3 states of consciousness? No. They live as the waker, then they live as the dreamer, then they live as the sleeper. Again they wake up in the morning as the waker, the sleeper, and the dreamer and the sleeper. Who is the one? What is the goal? The goal is to realize, Sudeep, the goal is to realize that I am the consciousness that was awake. Clear, Sudeep?
Yes, sir.
I was the consciousness that dreamt. Agreed, Sudeep? And I was the consciousness that should have experienced deep sleep. Does the consciousness experience deep sleep? No. The consciousness wakes up out of a deep sleep. Now, are you getting the point?
No, I didn't get this one.
No. After you get up from Jagrat, Swapna, and Sushupti. Jagrat, you have the state of interpretation. Jagrat.
Yes.
When you're dreaming, you have a state of misinterpretation, wrong interpretation.
Yes.
When you're sleeping, do you have any interpretation?
In the deep sleep, no.
When do you get that interpretation?
When we wake up.
That's a state of non-interpretation. Now the point is, when we are in a state of coma, we may be in that Sushupti state.
That's my point, but the consciousness is still there, na sir. It's that the awareness is not there, or maybe there's nothing to experience.
Yeah, but so are you getting the point that when we are in the state of the Sushupti, suppose you're in a state of coma for 3 years, maybe you're knocked out for 3 years, then there's no, though the consciousness is breathing up and down in you, that is not experiencing the states of Jagrat, Swapna, and Sushupti, because you are unconscious in that. So okay, I'm asking you another question. Is the unconscious man alive or dead?
He's alive.
But how is unconscious then?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, sir. Like if you just allow me to take one small example,
Yeah.
in the space, we don't see light, but it's not that there is no light. It's just that there is no object to reflect back the light. So I believe that when the person is unconscious, medically, what Surendraji will call as unconscious, he is conscious. It's just that there's nothing to experience because his body is not responding to any of the stimulus which could be given to him.
But that's the only thing that we experience. So, Sudeep, what else do you experience other than the body?
And now my only point is, I hope we are not getting too late. My only point is, are we like the two words awareness and consciousness? I think we are getting confused between these 2 points.
No, so
Spiritually, consciousness is different than what medically we call as consciousness. That's my point.
correct. So what you're saying, when we are awake, there is awareness. When we are dreaming also, there is awareness. But when we are sleeping,
there is nothing to be aware of.
Therefore, for all practical purpose, we say there is no awareness, but there is consciousness.
Yes, yes.
It's all words, English words you can use.
That's what I'm saying, sir. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That possibly we are getting confused with the English thing. The language, the restrictions that the language has.
Good clarity for Kumar Swami. Kumar Swami, you agree with what Sudeep is saying? When we are in that state, there is no awareness, but there is consciousness. But soul is there. Kumar Swami, you're happy with this new answer, I hope.
But I too wanted to discuss the same point. Awareness and consciousness are different.
See,
the senses is called awareness. Without senses is called consciousness.
Yeah, but many spiritual people call consciousness also awareness. So let us not get confused. Let us not be confused of that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So with that note, very interesting. There are many people who want to ask more questions, but the clock is telling us that we will meet tomorrow again at 8. And I don't know whether there is network in Kashmir. If Rais gives us, I hope we will not have a disruption in the call, because in Kashmir, the network is gone, but it's back. I'm told the network is back. So with that, I bow down to you. I thank you and hope to see you tomorrow at 8. Shivoham.